So equation, solution, and
How big of a
equivalence.
space?
I don't know, a line or two. A line or two. So you're going to do positives and negatives again. So make sure you're feel comfortable with that kind of stuff. They keep showing up. Just keep showing up. All right, I'm going to get started. So an equation is something you've actually been dealing with your whole life, but you just didn't really realize it. So an equation can be as simple as this. That could be a simple equation, okay? It's stating that two quantities are equal. Well, what's equal? Is this equal 4?
Yeah.
And this 4? Yeah. So it can be as simple as that. That equal sign pretty much makes it an equation for you. Okay, so what about this? Let's say I say 4 plus blank equals 9. What can that blank? 5. Okay, so that's what I mean by a solution. So 4 plus blank equals 9. Well, you knew this was going to be 5. 5 is that solution. This is also considered, let's say I just put like a question mark in there. That's also considered an equation. I'm trying to find something that's going to make both sides equal. So the solution is something that makes it true. And that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be finding those solutions. We're going to be missing something, we're going to be finding that solution. An equivalence equation, when two equations have the same solution. So this is an example. Why is this an example of an equivalence equation? What do you think, Jack?
It's two equations.
Give me more. Give me. What?
Yeah, equal solution.
You're close. What do you think, Delaney?
They both equal the same.
They both equal the same thing. Right? This is an equivalent equation. They both equal the same thing on both sides. Here's another example. Same thing. Does this equal 8?
Yeah.
Does this equal 8? So are they equal to each other? Yeah, those are equivalent equations. So two things that, and you know what? You've maybe never seen it where you can have something else and this has the equal sign for. You can have more things than just one number on both sides of the equal sign. It doesn't have to be this whole thing. You might be just used to seeing this your whole life. Have you been used to seeing that your whole life? Yes. You can have other things on this side too. You can have letters on this side also. You can have more numbers on this side. So that's what you're going to start to see now from now on. You're going to see more things on both sides of the equal sign. All right, so how's this going to go today? I'm going to forget about those things right now, but I'm going to go to this. Have you ever seen this before?
Yeah.
What is it? What is this?
It's a scale.
It's a scale. It's a balance. Have you ever used it before?
Yeah.
Or something along the lines of that looks like that, but something along the lines of 6th grade. Okay. This is like an equation machine. Okay, it's an equation machine. Let's just talk about a scale or something like this. Let's say they're like this. Okay. put something on one side, what happens to it? It's gonna go like this, right? The heavier side is gonna fall, correct? Now, what if I put something on this side? What's gonna happen? This side's gonna fall. What if I have this? They're gonna be equal, right? Okay. So that's what an equation is like. An equation is basically like a balance. Now, let me show you how it works. So, all equations today, you're going to be missing something. You're going to have a letter in it. What's a letter mean? What's a variable? What do we use those things for? What do we use a variable?
Take place in the
Take place in the number. Here, take place in the number, and we're going to find what some of these variables are today. So just watch me for a second, will you please? Let's say I have a plus 3 equals 5. Okay? This is what the balance is doing. That equal sign is the middle of the balance. Well, this side has to equal 5, and this side has to equal 5. Does that make sense? It's our job to find out what that A is. Now, let me draw this for you in a picture. Can I do that? Can I draw for you a picture? Let's say we have A plus and 3. So I'm going to make like 3 blocks here, just to represent that in a picture. How many blocks do I have on that side? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now my job is to find what A is. What do I have to do? I want to find what A is, and I want to get it by itself on this side. What can I do to get rid of those blocks? Should we just take them off? We can do that. Let's just take them off. Okay. Now right now, this is what my balance looks like. Let's take them off. What just happened to my balance? Do you see what happened? So what do I have to do to even this balance back out? What do I got to do, Kate?
You have to have the same number of blocks and say you have to put blocks.
I have to take, so he's on the right track, I have to take the same number of blocks that I took from this side from that side. Even out, because remember before we were like this? I took 3 off this side, so what do I have to do to this side? Take 3 off, so let's take 3 off. Now we're balanced out, because I took 3 from this side and 3 from this side. What is A equal? 2. That's how an equation works. It has to, it's a balance. It has to stay balanced on both sides. So what I do to one side, I have to do the other side, because if I don't, my balance isn't in check, is what they call it. Does that make sense to you? Let's try another one. If you want to draw one out, you can draw one out. Now, are you going to have to draw one out like this every time? No, but I need to show you how it works. I have so many kids that don't understand. Well, I did this to this side, then I'm done. You do it to one side, you have to do it to the other side to keep your balance balanced. So let's do A plus 2. This is your equal sign, because that's the middle, equals, I don't know, 6. Okay? So A, and then I'm going to have 2 blocks. Over here, I'm going to have 6. 4, 5, 6. Okay? So this is how my balance looks. I want A by itself. So what am I going to do over here?
Erase the 2.
I'm going to erase the 2. I'm going to get rid of it. I'm going to cancel it out. Okay? Now if I do it to this side, what do I got to do? I have to do it to this side, because if I don't, this is what my balance looks like. It started like this. Now it's like this, because I took 2 off of this side. I got to take 2 from here. So what does A equal? What does A represent on this side? 4 blocks. It represents 4 blocks. Bam.
How will that be shown in like a equation?
I will show you in a second. Yeah, King.
Why can't you just take 6 minus 2?
I'm going to show you that in a second. I'm going to show you that in a second. It's essentially what you do, but I have to show you why it works. Because I have people that say, oh, it's 6 minus 2. But when we get to the big scheme of things, when we're doing longer equations, you have to know what we're doing. Okay, so let's try one. Here's my problem. Let's do x plus 3 equals 10. Now, I know you already know the answer, but I have to show you how to do the work. Okay, so think of it as a balance. One side, middle, other side. All right? So I have x plus 3 equals 10. So what am I going to do to get rid of that 3?
3 from the 10.
Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, now think of what we did on the scale. I'm going to take 3 away. That's like me taking 3 away. Canceling it out on that side. This is how you show the work for this stuff, you guys. Now, if I do it to this side, what do I got to do to the other side? That's how it should look. Now this is how I do it. I usually make a big line like this, but I do that so I can see my steps. And eventually, it'll make more sense when we have more steps. Now under this part, x is what you have left, equals whatever this equals. That's how I want to see your work today. Okay? That's how I want to see your work. Remember, that's my answer. Yep. See how what you said over here? That's what you're doing, but you're just showing how you got that. Okay? Let's try another one. We're just going to keep it simple for a second. Okay, what about x plus 9 equals, I don't know, 16. Okay? Are you trying it on your paper? Try it on your paper. Show me the work, though. I know you know what the answer is. Show me the work. If you're not sure, say, okay, what do I have to get rid of? I need this by itself, so I need to get rid of this. I gotta do the same thing over here. I hope this is how yours kind of started to look. Aisha, something that looks like this then. Is that what you have on your paper?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so remember a long time ago when we talked about zero pairs? You guys remember zero pairs? Like a red and a yellow tile? Remember zero pairs?
Oh,
Yeah, they cancel each other out? Okay. Yeah, cats and dogs cancel each other out. That's essentially what we're doing on this side. We're canceling out. So if we're adding 9, what are we going to do to get rid of it? We're going to subtract 9, right? We're just doing the opposite. We want to cancel these things out. So let's try one with subtraction in it now. Let's try one with subtraction. So let's do x minus 4 equals 17. Now before we do anything, I need to cancel what's out on this side. So if I'm subtracting 4, how am I going to cancel that? I'm going to add 4. Yes, I'm going to add 4. So you're not always going to be adding. You might be subtracting or adding, depending on what's going on here. So if you're minus 4, you're going to add 4. So we just need to get it canceled out. So now what am I going to do to the other side? I'm going to add 4. Yes. That's my answer. So how could I check myself? What could I do to check myself? I say, okay, well, x is 21. I want to make sure I'm right. What can I do? JC.
Take 21 minus 12 to see.
It's 4.
Oh,
21 minus 4, because there's 4 up here. Yep. 20. If I want to know x is 12, I can put it back in for here. X minus 4 should be, or 21 minus 4 should be 17. All right, you try it on. Are you ready? Find what x is. Show me the work. Before you tell me the answer, I want you to tell me what you did. Okay, before you tell me the answer, I want you to tell me what you did. Anybody want to share? Anybody want to share? Grace?
So cross out the minus 13 and add
Okay.
13.
Like this?
Yeah.
Yep. Cancel out.
And then add 16 and 13 together.
Okay.
And then that x equals
29.
29.
Good job. Is this how yours looked in your paper? I looked over here and a lot of us had good things on their paper. Very good. Let's do a few more tricky ones now. It is easy. It is. Once you get the hang of it, very easy. Let's do one like this. X plus 5 equals 3. X plus 5 equals 3. Do you want to try it yourself? Yeah. All right, try it. See what you come up with. is the trickier one. The trickier one. Okay, anybody want to share what they did? Anybody want to share, Casey?
You have to take 5 minus 5,
Okay.
cancel that out, and then you have to take minus 5.
Like this, right?
Yeah.
What's 3 minus 5? Negative 2. Should be negative 2. Yeah, it should be negative. Because you can't just change the order here. You have to do it in the order they give you. So if it's 3 minus 5, well, you know it's going to be negative 2. You can also write, sometimes it's easier to write it like this. Maybe easier to see.
So you don't do keep change.
You can. Do you want me to show you keep change change one? Okay. Let me show you keep change change one. Okay. This would be an example of keep change change one. It might be easier, because some of you are going to go like this, and like this. It might be easier to write it like this. That's the same thing too, then you can do your keep change change a little bit easier, if you write it the other way. That's okay to do that. And figure out what that's equal. Any questions so far? Do you have any questions? Questions are coming up in your mind. Yeah. I'll show you here. Did you write it like this or did you write it like this? Like that? Like this? Okay, if you do that, you have to make sure you're paying attention. You're going to keep, you're going to change, you're going to change. That's how it's going to look. Don't forget. So it should be x is negative 11 is how it should be. It should be. What? You got that? Okay, so careful. Careful, careful. All right, let's try one like this. Let's do one. Oh, I don't want to do that. I'll just keep doing this. How about this one? I'm going to put it in a different order. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? I'm going to put a different order this time. You can for addition, you cannot for subtraction. Kate asked a good question. He said, can I switch these? I want to. You can only switch them if you're adding. If you're subtracting, you cannot do that. So if you switch them, fine, but for subtraction, you can't. I'll show you one of those in a second. A should be 6. A should be 6. Okay? I'm going to do another one like that. Watch this. Okay, I know you can do this one in your head, but I want you to watch. How are you going to get rid of the 6? What are you going to do? Think you're going to subtract 6 or add 6?
Add 6.
Subtract 6.
Oh, positive 6.
Okay, let me explain. You're always looking at the sign in front to what you have to do the opposite. So is 6 a positive or a negative 6? So what do we have to do? Get rid of it. Subtract. Subtract. Minus 6. Minus 6. This is going to turn out to be a tricky one. What are we doing? Okay, so here's the thing. A lot of people think I have to look at the sign in the middle to tell me what I have to do. Technically, you have to look at the sign in front of the number. So sometimes, let's see, like if I have this is in front of the number, right? It tells me what I need to do. Well, in this case, a lot of people say, well, I need to add the 6. That's not the case. I need to follow the sign that's in front. If there's no sign in front, it's a positive, so you gotta subtract 6 out. Does that make sense, everybody? You're always looking at the sign in front of the number. Any questions on that? I'm gonna give you, let's do one with a fraction, quickly, okay? And we're almost done. We're almost done. I would like to do one with a fraction. This isn't even my book. What's the matter back there, gentlemen? All right, let's do one like this. 3/5 plus x equals, I don't know, 4/5. This is an easy one, but that's okay. I just want to show you. I know you know this is. I just want to show you how it works. So I'm pretty sure there's one like this on your home. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Well, you got to get rid of that 3/5, right? Minus 3/5. I need a minus 3/5. Remember, when you subtract fractions, you have to have the same denominator, and then you subtract from the numerators. 4 minus 3, 1/5. X should be 1/5. That's what this should look like. So careful, because you're going to see some of those. What questions do you have for me so far? Yes.
What if it's a different denominator?
Then you got to change denominators. I don't think you have one of those today, but let me look.
So you just.
Oh, you do. You do. Do you want me to do one like that? Different denominators?
So you just have to change it until they're the same.
Yep. Just like this. Okay? There's 2 different denominators. What denominator can I use? 6. So I have to change this. Now, if you don't remember, it's going to say how many times? 2. So this is what it looks like. Then you can do your subtraction or your addition or whatever you need to do. Okay? Yeah, you got to change the denominator. We can just one like that on. Anything else I'm missing? Oh, let's do one like this. Negative 15 plus x equals 19. I think this is the last goofy one you got. What are you going to do to get rid of that 15? Add it or subtract it? Add it, because we got to look at what's in front. So if I have a minus 15, I need to cancel it out. Okay, so always looking at what's the beginning. Always. The last thing I want to tell you about is the story problem. Now this is your story problems are going to look like today. Can I change this? Maybe we still need it? This is what story problems are going to look like. It says a pair of shoes costs $25. This is $14 less than the cost of a pair of jeans. How much do the jeans cost? Now, I don't care if you set up an equation. For all story problems, I want you to solve them how you would solve them. You don't have to use anything that we've ever done in class. If you have a different way, solve them. Because guess what? When you're like 40, you're not going to think, what is this for simple thoughts in math? I'm going to use that. No, you're going to solve it any way you can. You're not going to put it in the equation. You're just going to solve it. So if this is your problem and it says a pair of shoes costs $25, this is $14 less than your jeans. I want to know how much the jeans cost. What's something you could do to figure this out, Jack? You could add them. Because you know this is $14 less. Well, you know your jeans are this then. Okay? Was that an equation that we did today? No. But you can solve it, yeah. No, a pair of shoes costs $25. This was $14 less than the jeans. So you know the jeans have to be more expensive.
So we can do story problems.
Your own way, King. You bet.
Yeah.
You bet. Oh, that's cheap, actually.
This is the same time actually like to story.
Just, I don't care. Solve them however you want to solve them. Because when you get to whatever else, you're not going to do my way. Solve them how you want to solve them. Another way, if you wanted to set up a story problem, this is what it would be. This is how it would look. It would be your jeans minus $14 equals 25. That's how you would set up your equation. Your jeans is $14 less, and then you just do exactly what you did. Okay? So solve them any way you want. Here's another one we can talk about. Lily practiced the piano for 32 minutes. She practiced 11 minutes less than her brother did. So she practiced for 32 minutes. This is 11 minutes less than her brother. I want to know how long her brother practiced. So think about, think about it. She practiced 32 minutes. That's 11 minutes less than her brother. Oh, so you got to think about it. It's not just saying, oh, I'm going to take 32 minutes less. You have to think about what's going on in the problem. You might have to like, use your brain for like 2 seconds. Okay? You might have to use your brain for 2 seconds. Okay? You got to add them together. So what did her brother practice? 43 minutes. So careful with how the story problems are worded. Be super careful. What questions do you guys have for me? Anything?